If you're trying to lose weight, how do you know which program will work safely for you? Registered dietitian Michelle Jaelin joins us now with some red flags to look out for. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Annette. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I can imagine as a dietitian, you probably get asked an awful lot, what can I eat to lose weight?
Yes, and there's a lot of different things to watch out for in terms of all the programs and all the weight loss products out there. And the first thing that's a red flag, I would say, is if a program tells you to buy particular supplements or weight loss products. Now, often that means that it's the ones that they're selling themselves, and it is to make a profit. So they do make a lot of money off of them. But what should be happening is a program should be customized for you. They should be working with your diet, your life to find out what works for you. And if they're trying to sell you additional things like supplements and products, then that's not a good plan for you to go with.
That's a good money-making plan for them, but not a good weight loss plan for you, right?
Oh yeah. It's the diet industry is a billion-dollar industry, and I always have to remind people that when I'm talking to people that you got to keep that in mind when you're out there looking.
But how do you do that when people are going, well, my friend was on this and she lost so much weight, right? Because they see people and it's like, yeah, but how much are they actually eating? And is it healthy?
Yeah, that's right. Another one besides that is also about meal plans. Now, meal plans, a lot of them, they should also be customized for you. And if you hear something that says this meal plan works for everyone, that's another red flag because eating is so individual. Everyone eats differently. Your lifestyle is different from the other person. And so you want to make sure you find a program or plan that takes your own individual needs into consideration. That's another one right there. Another one.
Yeah, sorry, you say that before and after photos are another big warning sign to look for.
Yeah, so everyone loves a good before and after photo, and even I do when it comes to home renovations. I love those photos. They're just like, wow, it's a brand new kitchen. But my challenge with them when it comes to diet and people is that it doesn't give us a good picture of their physical and mental health. We don't know anything about that. And photos are deceiving because just because somebody's appearance has changed doesn't necessarily mean that they have become healthier.
Yeah.
Like, how can you judge that based on a photo, right? That's an important thing to keep in mind. You want to look for real testimonials from people. That would be the best thing.
Okay. What about those that offer guaranteed results?
Yeah, so a lot of times you'll see things that say things like guaranteed 20 pounds loss, something like that. You know what? Guaranteeing weight loss is not a good way to go because when people change lifestyle behaviors, whether they exercise more or they eat better, their bodies can change in different ways. They can maintain their weight, they can actually gain more weight, but what we want to look at is the health behaviors. And they're saying guaranteed X number of pounds lost, and they're just trying to sell you another diet.
Okay, what's another warning sign to look for?
So another one is often people will say things like you mentioned before, is that, well, I lost weight and this worked for me, so it'll work for you too. But humans are so complex and different, right? And everyone who's had success, they always want to share their stories with everyone. And that's great. However, that doesn't mean that somebody makes them an expert. It doesn't make them an expert. You want to make sure you find the right credentials before you go with somebody. Another thing is bodies are not business cards. We see a lot of people who have, beautiful bodies, in media and whatever, but a body shouldn't be a business card. It doesn't say anything about their expertise. It also doesn't say that what works for that individual person is going to work for you as well. So you want to be mindful of that and think about someone who works with your individual needs instead of just says, well, you know what, I look like this, so therefore I'm an expert.
Oh, that is such a good point. And I think that's my favorite red flag of all of them, right? Because it's like you have no idea what that person has done to look like that. It could be just natural.
Yes, it could be natural. Like everyone's bodies are different. Some people look a certain way, other people look a different way. We're all individual and unique. And another one is also when they say things like 6 weeks to your best body. That's another one I see very much. Well, you're going to eat past 6 weeks. What are you going to do once the 6 weeks are done?
Exactly.
It's you think about that and what are you going to do after, and people think, oh, there's a time limit. I only have to do this. But then you know what? If we go back to the old behaviors that are not within that plan, then we can go back down a path that we don't want to go because we're trying to. Wellness doesn't have a timeline. It should be for the rest of your life, not within 6 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever is out there.
Do you still follow Canada's Food Guide? Think that's the best way to, thinking about reducing calories and just eating a healthy overall good meal?
Well, and that's very important too. And Canada's Food Guide is a really good guide. However, too, within that, remember that's a public health
Yes.
guide. It's something that's available for everybody, but it's not individualized. So understanding that people eat differently because of their culture, because of
Yep.
their age, or everything, it's really impacted by so many different things.
We've got about a minute left, but I would be remiss if we didn't talk about losing too much weight and the mental health problems that have come out of the pandemic, especially where people can only control so many things, so they try to control their food intake, right? So many people who really shouldn't be losing weight are trying to lose weight.
Yes, and I think that's also where it's very important to have strong connections with people, check in with your friends when it comes to mental health. Eating disorders are an issue, and in the pandemic, they have been a bigger issue. They have been brought up more to the surface. So, I mean, I always make sure to like checking in on my friends and having other people check in on me, and then just also noticing signs too. Like if I'm ever with people, like if I notice anything that's strange or
Yeah.
any kind of behavior, then it's questionable, right? Then someone might have to seek a professional
Okay.
in that case.
Right. Well, we've gone to the professional registered dietitian here for some red flags to look out for. Michelle, we'll have all the links to your social media, which are great resource up on our website, chch.com. Great to talk with you today.
Yes, you too, Annette.